Hey there, happy Monday. I just decided to go live for a little bit. Um, I don't know for how long, just to kind of give an update on things I've been working on. I did a live the other day, but I was really tired and I don't even know how I was talking because I'm just having difficulty talking between the braces, the rubber bands in there, the allergies, and then just being tired just from all the work I'm doing around the house. Um, Rearranging a lot of our storage area and throwing a lot of stuff out and all this other kind of stuff. I've just been going wild. It's like I'm nesting. And yeah, so with all that going on, I didn't know where my head was at. I was trying to talk normal, but I don't know if I was talking normal. And I don't have time to listen to replays of my own voice, considering I also hate the sound of my own voice. I ain't doing that. So, anyway, so it's Mandala Monday. If you follow M Bean's coloring, um, you'll know that's what today is. Um, and also, so this is the mandala. I actually posted a short of this, but I don't know that I did that great of a job on it. And I was getting kind of upset because I couldn't get the whole picture because this book is really kind of square. And so it wasn't getting the whole picture. I'm not finished with this yet, but I did some work on it yesterday. I recorded part of my work on it, but like I didn't think it was significant enough to post, and I didn't really have the energy to do another recording and then do the editing, putting them both together and all this other jazz. I just didn't have it in me. I really didn't. My apologies. So, I'm just showing my work. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I added some Jelly Roll gel pens to there. Um, Here, like with the gold, and then I used one of their pinks in some areas here, and here. And I did some pencil work using the Evazars in one Prismacolor. Where is it? I thought I had it on here. I guess I don't see it. The peach kind left over from me working on skin tones. They happen to still be on my desk. So between the Evazar peach and the Prismacolor peach, I was using both. Um, yeah, so that's what I used on here. I still obviously have more work to do on this one. Um, Kind of at that point, it's like what color, and I want to be like kind of zoned out enough to where I pick a color that just kind of flows with it and that doesn't repeat something I've already done. Yeah, so that's where we are. I did a lot of like, I don't know, kind of outlining and stuff, which some places I was looking, my hand wasn't that steady yesterday. And, but I tried. And that was one thing I was using the Prismacolor for, was kind of blending out the places where I got a little blotchy with it. Um, but yeah, so that's what we did here. I may add some more Jelly Roll pens to this because I don't use them that often, and I really should because I have them. And I think that using some of the just the plain colors, without any metallic or moon glow or anything, I really don't use those. And so I figured this is an opportunity for me to use them in this book. So yeah, so I may be adding different colors from the jelly rolls to this. Um, Other than this, the big thing I've been working on, which is part of what I was talking about, if not all I was talking about in the video that I actually privated from, I think it was Saturday. I like as I thought I would get. I am obsessed with coloring skin tones now. Since the video with Tiffany and Foxy Colorist, I am just like, so I made several I made several copies of this page. Okay, and then I also realized that my settings in Adobe weren't always set so that I would have the complete border, so I learned that too in the process. but I printed more out on just regular printer paper. And I think my printer paper is actually a little heavier than the Create Space paper. Um, I just noticed that with when I started coloring on here. Um, but I mentioned in that video that I privated that I want to try and color every single skin tone I can think of. Um, from Caucasian to darkest African to everything in between. So why I want to do that, I don't know, but I'm obsessed with it now. Well, because I notice people, I notice everybody has a different skin tone. Even if you're the same ethnicity or whatever, you still have a different skin tone. And so I want to color them, as many of them as I can, because I'm just weird like that. So let me put these away. And again, these, I know some people already have these images, but these were free to download from ourmindfullife.com. So, and she has other images besides faces and things too. So let me. She actually has. It looks like she has like a mandala tutorial, like for actually drawing a mandala according to some kind of um, schemata or something, as far as like categories of what's, what the lines are supposed to represent or something like that. So I don't know if that's like the authentic origin of mandala and that's what she's teaching it out of, but excuse me, but I found that interesting. But you can find that on her site if you're interested. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is the first one that I did, and this is on um, what's it called? Astrobrite paper. And this is the one, I think I was working on this in the live, particularly on these. And I didn't know what color to go to next on there. I also found some things missing on the drawing, which interestingly enough, when it, when I printed it here, it printed out differently than when I printed it on the regular printer paper. Because I found on the regular printer paper, it's like, oh, this space is actually supposed to look like this. And it didn't look like this when I printed it out on the Astrobrite paper. I don't know why that is, but that's what happened. Um, so now I'm aware of that whenever I print out, to be on the lookout for that. So which one did I do after now? I don't remember. I didn't document all of the colors I used in creating hers. I don't think it was that. I don't think this was that um, something that's that important, like for me to try to repeat. Though I think I can get the same or better effect when I try it again. But I know I started out with a Holbein lavender. That I remember. That's what I started out with. I started with lavender. Um, yeah. So that's that. Did I go to this one next? I think I did. And then I went to, when I kept looking at this one and thinking, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Every time I'm looking at it, it's like, I like it, I don't like it. I like it, I don't like it. Um, so then I tried another one, and this is on the regular printer paper. And then I wrote down the colors that I use. I thought, I really need to do this. If I'm going to get this right, I can use these as a reference point when I want to do it again, or if I want to do it again and try it with different colors to make it better or something. Also, to try using these colors using the Astro Bright paper or some kind of heavier paper, or when I use a different pencil. Okay, so I have like kind of a guide. So I have here, I actually started off with black, with the Avazar black, and I went over it very light. Or I might have used, oh, you know what? Maybe it was the Avazar black. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, went very lightly, Okay. Then I used the Evazar Mocha, the Evazar color Mocha, and that's the Evazar London colored pencils. And the Mocha is like the darkest brown that's in the set, or one of the darkest browns. So I had black, just very lightly, all over the face. Then I went with the brown, the darkest brown Mocha. And then I used the Prismacolor Peach. When I just showed you, this seems to be staying on my desk lately. Um, I use Evazar Purple very, very, very little. Um, very little. Like I didn't use it all over. I just used it in some spots. I don't know why. It just came to me. I needed to do that, and I did it. I don't know. And then I blended this one a little bit, and then I went in with a lighter brown in spaces where I felt like it needed it. So that's how I got this. And right now I can't even tell where I put the purple, but I did very little. I really did. It might have been over in here or something. Um, I like how she turned out. I've been trying to figure out, okay, like, how the light hits the face or whatever, the contrast between, well, just how the light hits the face. And then how the light hits the face depending on what direction your face is facing. I had all that swirling around in my head, and I couldn't calm it down, but, I tried to make peace with all of it with this one. So I haven't done anything else really, like, added anything to her eyes or her lips in this one. But that was the color combination I did with that. So I had two browns. One was dark, and the other was lighter. And then I used black. I started off with black, and then I also used peach, which you can probably see kind of up here around the eyes, around the edges, and things. Um, and the reason I'm sharing this is because um, somebody else might be able to make better sense out of the colors I use and get a better result than I did, because I'm just a hacker, basically. I'm a hacker, and I'm just like, fooling around or whatever. But I'm trying to get the best result I can. So incidentally, I did find a video last night that I found very useful that I actually posted to my wall yesterday. And let me see, let me find it. Um, and then I can post the channel. Where's my history? Or I can look at my history. Where she actually, the artist, she works specifically in color pencil. Tell me I can do this. Can I copy link? Will that work? Copy link address. Hopefully that will work. The title of the video is How to Draw Portraits Using 6 Skin Tone Colors. And she actually has a template that she divides up into like 6 areas. Um, it's like the face, and then it has 6 areas. And she actually shows what colors she uses in using polychromos pencils. Um, she shows what colors she uses, and she actually does it real time how she does the skin tone. And this is the video. Hopefully that comes out to that. I'm just gonna show hide. How did that work? All I want to do is click it. Okay, let me do this and make sure that it goes. But I found that really useful. I watched that last night. It's like, oh, I wish I had seen that before I yeah, that comes out to that. My computer's just acting really weird. Okay. So I would suggest watching that video, because I'm going to go in again and try using the colors that she did. And actually, since I do have polychromos pencils, that gives me an excuse to break them out and use them for the first time. Um, and try that on another one of these I printed out. And I don't know, I might even do that one on Astrobrite paper instead of printer paper because I know she used good paper. She used paper that had some tooth to it. So, okay. So that's this one. I don't know why I feel like I did more than just these three because it felt like it, but I guess I didn't. I felt like I did another one. Maybe not. No, I just printed more out. And okay, so hello. Hope you're having a good day. So this, okay, I showed that one. So this one, I went with a different tone. I wanted to see what would happen. Um, and let's see. Okay, so I think I probably was trying to get some kind of olive skin tone, and I don't think I got that. But I don't mind what I got. So, and my olive green wasn't really olive green. That was part of it too. It was like more like it's more of a, I don't know, it's called moss green, but it was the closest thing I could find to olive green in this set. So that's probably one reason why this looks more yellow than maybe brownish. But I started with, I am going to try it starting with an olive green probably at some point. Hey, Foxy, happy Monday. You got me obsessed. I'm obsessed with the skin tone thing now. And I did these with Evazar London pencils, these guys. So I did try different pencils with it. Oop, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. But yeah. So, and I do want to keep trying it with different pencils because it seems like different pencils do things differently. So, I got the pages from here, ourmindfullife.com. And actually, let me see. Did I save that page? Let me see if I saved it and I'll post the link. Be surprised if it didn't save the page, but I can find it right now. It's a good idea anyway for me to post it. Or oh yeah, that'll work. Okay, except I don't want just the zombie girl. Can I get to? Let's see, can back up here. If I do 2023, will that work? Nope, that didn't work. Let's do this. Forbidden. Okay, let's not do that. Back up to content. Did that work? I just gotta go all the way back. There we go. I should have saved the page the day I found them, but that would have been too much like right. Oh my gosh, this is not working. Okay. Our mindful life. What do you mean the page isn't working? Stick to Google now. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this page 41. Yep, there we go. 41 gorgeous black girl coloring pages. Free printable. Okay, that's I'm going to post here right now. Da, 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 da. Tons of, like she says, 41 pages. So I did not print all 41. I thought that was really nice of her to share these. Looking like that. Got a Pinterest thing popping up. That's new. I hate Pinterest. That's a side note. Okay, now my everything is slowing down. Let me save this to my reading pages just so I can find it again easily. Okay. Hey, Bubbles. Happy Monday. So, let's see. So that's the page where I got these coloring pages. That was kind of interesting as I looked at it. Like, look how different it is between one and the other. How different the skin tone makes them. I don't exactly count this one because it didn't have the same. I don't know. Something happened with printing it on the astrobyte paper, but still, look how different it makes them look. I can't get them all in there. It really does something. So I'm fascinated by that. So, oh, wait a minute. There is another one. It's this one. Did I show this one yet? I showed that one. I didn't show this one. Okay, let me finish showing this one. I thought I did another one. Like I said, I was obsessed. So, um, okay, so with this one, it started with olive green. Well, I wanted to start with olive green, but all I had was a moss green in the Evazar London pencils. Then I used what they called caramel, but it didn't look like caramel to me. It looked more like an ochre. Um, then I used what they call bark, which is like a darker brown. But it wasn't really a darker brown. It was just darker than the caramel, but the bark looked more like caramel than the caramel did. If that makes any sense. So I made that note on here: darker brown, darker than. Then I also used rose pink. Okay, so that's what I used on this one. And what complicated it is when I printed it up on the printer paper, it shows this, shadow thing like it does on the, I think it does on the original too. But I was able to take care of that, like with this one, even though it showed up on here, using the darker colors, it kind of like made it like work with it. Whereas using it on this one, I didn't know what to do with that. So I wasn't prepared for that. So I haven't done anything with it yet. Okay, then this one, which has become my favorite, I did this one and I just kind of fell in love with it. And for this one, I started with black just like I did with this one. So notice that they're like different, just like we're different, right? So I guess that's why I was like so like into it. Anyway, um, so I used black, but I colored it a little bit darker, used a little bit harder hand than I did on this one. Um, I used Prismacolor powder blue. I used red a little bit on the cheeks, very lightly. But actually, what I did too, I also went back in. Ooh, I didn't see any of that gold I did. Ooh, I didn't mark that. Because I went kind of crazy with the gold on here. Because then I started going in on the hair with the gold. And then started doing that on her cheeks. I think I got a little bit of it in her eyes because, like, I don't know. I just once I finished her skin, I think I just was like enamored and just kept going. So I got to add those other colors on here, but they're both in the Evazar sets, and they're probably still here on my desk somewhere. But because I want to find it now, I'm not going to find it because that's how that works. So yeah, and I keep doing the same page because rather than doing a different page, because then I can compare and I can analyze it and look at, okay, where do I want the dark and light and what color did I use to make it the darker light in this one as opposed to that one. Now, one thing about this, especially on here, it looks really grainy, but it kind of looks that way in person too. But I actually kind of like it. It looks kind of stylistic, kind of stylized or whatever. And I don't know. I just I'm in love with her with that. There's something about her and that skin tone that I like better. I don't know. It's more striking to me than the other ones. Maybe it's because I did her lips. I don't know. But I was encouraged to do her lips. I wanted to do her lips after I saw how the rest of her was turning out. So, yeah. And then how different this one looks from the first one I did. And she's like more brown skin, I guess, in a way, some ways. So, I don't know. So I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. And I wrote down again, I wrote the colors down on the side so I could, kind of analyze that. But that video by, what's her name? Do I still have it open? The video by Drawing with Color. I'm going to start using her tutorial and try that out on the next one that I do to see how that works. Because again, um, well, she's using better paper because she is a coloring pencil artist. This is what she works in. And if you see some of the pictures that she has on like the background or whatever, and she's, I don't know, amazing, like amazing work. So I'm thinking that's somebody I really need to follow and pay attention to. But um and I can use the polychromos because that's what she uses. So yeah, and then I'll try it out with well, actually, I mean, who knows? I may try it out with the Evazar London pencils or something else, the Staedtler pencils or something, and then try it with the polychromos. But like, I kind of doubt that. I think I'm gonna start with the polychromos just so I can use them. Um, because like as I mentioned, like I was in somebody's chat that and Evelyn says, "Yeah, me too." When I mentioned it, that like I feel like I need to up my pencil game, and as far as the type of pencils I use, and I actually have an order coming. But what happened was I got a bonus I wasn't expecting for my job, and I thought, oh, because I was trying to figure out why my direct deposit was so huge. I'm like, what the hell? What happened? Did they make a mistake? No, it wasn't a mistake. When I looked at my stub, it wasn't a mistake. I was like, well. So, but I didn't go whole hog with buying the pencils. I bought a 30 pencil set of the Caran Dash Pablos, and then, ooh, do I still have that open? I don't have it open. I think it's only might only be a 12 pencil set of the, it's either 12 or 24. I'm thinking 12, but I could be wrong. Of the Derwent Lightfast, and then I have a bunch of open stock Derwent Lightfast that are included in that list. And that's why I think I may have stuck to the 12 because I thought, I don't know if I need all those colors in the 24 because I am thinking more about blending. And I think that's another thing that was like almost making me high with working on these is that the one thing that I love about oil painting is the blending. It's like almost a spiritual experience for me. And I heard that this is kind of true for other people who work in oil paint, so I'm not crazy entirely. And so yeah, there's something about the blending that really does something for me. And so I feel like I don't really need a whole lot of pencils at this point. I need the ones that are most important for me to get the effect that I want. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So we say, oh, thank you. Yeah, more money, more money. I know. I was so surprised. I was like, what the heck? What is that? And I thought they made a mistake. I was like, oh my gosh. So that was a nice surprise. So yeah. So I don't know. So that's kind of what I've been busy with, what I've been doing. I got one book that I can tell you don't get it. I'm just telling you don't get it. I got it, don't get it. That's my advice. As this book, don't get it. I'm sorry. That might be mean. I mean, you can get it, but again, it's AI images, and sometimes the whole image isn't on the page, and all that other kind of stuff that gets on my nerves. If you don't mind that kind of thing, oh, she's pretty cool though. If you don't mind that kind of thing, then get the book. I think it was like only $7, so that's not bad for $7. Is that what it was? I think it was only $7. But yeah, I was kind of annoyed at the paper. I mean, what did I expect? It was $7, but they also told me like it was some kind of special discount deal or whatever, and I was like, huh? I don't know. Ooh, she's cool. Check her out. So in one part, this is good for the poses, but I don't. I'm very sensitive to line. That's another thing. Other than color mixing, my other thing is line and the marks that are made. And if the marks that are made don't, I don't know, there's something about these where like with this, like why is there that black around the crown? That does something negative to me. I don't like that. But I love her pose and her face. I think her boobs might be a little too big. It looks like it would hurt her back. She needs a strap to the throne. Anyway, sorry. I digress. But yeah, I kind of I think I could have passed on this, except for the fact that I may recreate some of the drawings with my own spin and my own lines or something. But I feel bad. I didn't mean to bash this person's, whatever work, but yeah, it didn't please me. Let's just say that. I like the idea. I just didn't like the. I don't know. I like line. Speaking of liking line, this will probably be the last thing I say. There's somebody I found this week. I don't know how he came up in my timeline or whatever, but I found him and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna copy the link address. His name is Story Grub, and he is very different. But if you look at what he's doing when he is drawing or whatever, it is really like I being obsessed with line as I am kind of like, wow, kind of blows my mind. His name is Story Grub, and yeah, all he's using is a Sharpie, a black Sharpie. If you see what he did, just with a paper and a black Sharpie, dude is going to town, and it looks like something that um you'd color actually. Although like he's got a whole lot of lines in there, and like for me, you'd have to blow it up a bit for me to want to color it because I'd be spazzing out at all the tiny spaces. But it's really really um impressive. It reminds me of like things like with Escher's World, or I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's I don't know how to describe it. It's out there. It's very intense. Kind of reminds me of things like with Wintergorn and all that. Like that kind of, I don't know, intensity of detail. And also like with Kirby, Rosanna's and his doodles, it's like, make all of that smaller and more of it. And that's what you have when you look at Story Grub. But I don't know. If you're interested, check him out. I just subscribed yesterday because I fell on his channel yesterday and started watching, and I was really enthralled. Um, so I think that's really all I have today because I don't know. I've been doing so many things lately. Like I said, moving like and redoing large areas of storage in my house, and so that's a heavy cognitive load. And it was almost hard for me to color this yesterday because I was so um, I don't know, my head was so full of all of that and my body aching from all of that. Um, so I think I'm gonna end it here. And so see you on the coloring streets as we go tra-la-laing along. I hope the thing I shared with the coloring pages and the video I shared with the woman coloring skin tones, I hope all of that helped. I do have those videos on my wall. I don't know how many videos you got to filter through to get through them, but hopefully not too many. Um, and yeah, so see y'all later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.